This is Dan from Gear Diary, and today we're going to look at a new case from Speck. We're going to look at the MightyVault for the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 4S. The company describes the case as 3 ultra-tough reinforced layers for the ultimate endurable shock-absorbent protection. The case is $49.95, and it's available in a number of different colors. Let's take a quick walk through the case itself. As you can see, it comes with a holster. So you can pop the case out of the holster. The holster is nice, very pretty heavy duty. It has a ratchet for the clip so that you can keep it in both landscape and portrait, depending upon how you're going to be holding the case. And then you have the case itself. Now, the case itself is more elaborate than some of the other cases we've seen from Speck. It actually has this outer rubber layer, which is reminiscent of the bumpers that Apple came out with during their antenna gate debacle. And as you can see, it kind of peels away from the rest of the case, but not entirely. So it's actually glued on here, so it gives you the ability to open the case and put the iPhone inside. Here you have the actual shell of the case. There's actually a film here to protect the screen. So there's a built-in screen protection that's afforded to the iPhone. Now it's worth noting that it's not protected here. So this is not a waterproof case. It's just a tough, durable case. Once you have this rubber band, if you will, rubber band, you can open up the case itself. And it opens like so. You can see the Speck name here, and there's this nice soft material inside. And you take the iPhone, place the iPhone into the case, positioning the buttons and the sleep awake button properly, because you want to get the functionality that you need. Now, here's the thing that we're not going to do right now, but anytime you're dealing with a case that has built-in screen protection, you first off don't want to have another screen protector on here. It just gets in the way and very often will make the touch not as effective. But you also don't want dust particles in here. So you're going to want to wipe this down really well before you close the case up. And it might probably make sense to have a can of compressed air that you can spray while you're closing it, because if you have it dust free, when you close it and it clicks in place, like so, when you turn on the phone, you won't have all of the dust particles that you're seeing here, or maybe you can't see. But as you can see already, the touch screen works beautifully, even though it's covered. You then take the case and you want to slowly work it back around. And the best thing to do, I found with this, is to put it in place and then press the different, we're going to call them grabby things, into position. Because once you do that, you can just work around and work around and work around until it's nice and tight and everything is positioned properly. So you have here a fairly bulky case. There's no question about it. You have a fairly bulky case, but this fairly bulky case has nice protection on the back and is raised up along the edges so that there's more protection here. The camera is open, however. You have access to the volume buttons. To use the mute button, you simply flip this up, use it, and then you close it back down. On the top, if you want to access the headphone jack and the microphone, you pull this back. Otherwise, you close it, although there's a bit of a cutout, hard to see for the microphone. The sleep awake button is right here. And then obviously nothing on this side. So what you have is, as I said, a nice, fairly bulky case with better protection than most cases, but not 360-degree protection the way that you're going to find with some OtterBox cases and of the sort that you're going to find with the LifeProof case, which is even more protective and actually less bulky. It's also more expensive, by the way. And you can turn it on and off quite easily. When you take the holster, you can put the iPhone in the holster having it face out, or, and I didn't know this, but law enforcement that have phones are supposed to keep their phones face in so that if there's sensitive information that comes in, no one else can see it. So you have here an iPhone that is protected in an inner shell, has a bumper around it as well, and now has the extra protection of this holster on the side. Once again, it's $49.95. It's available directly from Speck. And as you can see, nice and protected when everything's closed up. And it actually feels quite nice in the hand, especially because of the soft on the side. This is Dan for Gear Diary. Thanks for watching.